In the blink of an eye, another week had passed. Lily, who was still feeling exhausted, had just woken up from her nap and walked into the living room with her eyes barely open. Suddenly, Lily was shocked to see Kevin as her eyes widened immediately. Just like old times, he was standing in front of the dining table, skillfully setting up the tableware. Lily cried out and immediately ran over to hug Kevin from behind. "Kevin, where have you been? It's been 2 weeks." Kevin then turned around and let Lily's head rest on his chest. As she silently cried, Kevin showed a faint smile on his face and gently patted her back. "It's all right, Lily. Everything's in the past now." Kevin comforted her in a soft voice. He had actually woken up from his coma about 5 days ago, but the Night King insisted that he should stay in his apartment for a few more days to let the golden pill's effects take full effect. Now he was not only fully recovered, but he even felt better than ever. After some time, Lily eventually stopped crying. She slowly looked up and asked, "Did Phoebe find you? Were you saved because of the rejuvenation pill that she got you?" "What are you talking about? I never saw Phoebe. It was my mentor who found a way to save me." Kevin was confused by this. In the days since he'd regained consciousness, he had purposely avoided using his phone or checking the news in order to fully focus on reconnecting with his mind, body, and spirit. "Kevin, what did you say? Phoebe didn't find you?" Lily was shocked and asked again. She clearly remembered that Truman had personally paid her a visit a week ago to inform her of Phoebe's upcoming marriage to Jared Hayes. While that was already surprising, what truly shocked her was finding out that Phoebe had agreed to the marriage in exchange for a rejuvenation pill to save Kevin. "Kevin, you should go and see Phoebe. She sacrificed herself just to obtain the rejuvenation pill for you," Lily said in a low voice. Although she knew that Phoebe had always liked Kevin, she never confronted her about it. And as his wife, Lily naturally didn't want Kevin to be stolen away by another woman. But at the same time, she also couldn't bear to let Phoebe just quietly give up everything without ever having the chance to express her true feelings for Kevin. "What's going on? Is Phoebe all right?" Kevin finally reacted. He slowly began to realize that a lot of things had happened since he disappeared, so he had some catching up to do. "After you were taken away by your mentor that day, we were all very worried for you. Dalton used all his connections to find you, but had no luck. Meanwhile, Phoebe agreed to marry the Hayes family's eldest son in exchange for a rejuvenation pill that would save you. But again, none of us knew where you were," Lily explained. "Phoebe was willing to do all of that for me?" Kevin stared at Lily in disbelief. "Yes, so you must go to her now while there's still time," Lily reluctantly urged Kevin. While she was afraid of potentially losing her husband, she also couldn't bear the guilt of hiding this from him. Moreover, she knew that Kevin might never forgive himself if he only found out about this much later on. "I have to stop her!" Kevin shouted loudly as he turned around and quickly ran out of the apartment. When Kevin arrived at the Anderson family mansion, it was still drizzling outside. His taxi had broken down along the way, so he had to run the last 2 miles in the pouring rain just to get there. "Sir, is Phoebe here?" Kevin asked Truman, who had answered the door after he rang the doorbell. "It looks like you've finally recovered," Truman replied very coldly. "Why don't you come inside so we can have a chat?" "Sir, as much as I would like to exchange pleasantries with you, I desperately have to talk to Phoebe right now," Kevin said anxiously. "I'm afraid you're already too late. Last night, the Hayes family had a private plane fly her to Detroit. But before my daughter left, she asked me to give you this letter." Truman took out an envelope from his pocket and then let out a heavy sigh as he handed it over to Kevin. Kevin's hands trembled as he opened the letter. It read, "Kevin, when you read this letter, it means your life is no longer in any danger. I'm really glad that you're okay now. Anyway, I'm sure you already know by now that I agreed to marry a man from the Hayes family in exchange for a rejuvenation pill. Unfortunately, I couldn't find you once it was already in my possession." The letter continued, "You may be wondering why I did it, and perhaps my only regret was that I never had the courage to tell you this in person. To tell you the truth, I don't know the exact moment when I fell in love with you. But once I did, There was no going back. Even if everyone kept calling you a useless son-in-law in my eyes, I've always known you to be a talented, gentle, and kind man towards me. And when you love someone, you must be willing to give your all for that person. Maybe you think that I'm silly, but if I was given the opportunity to do things all over, I wouldn't hesitate to stand by my decision to sacrifice myself for a chance to save your life. The letter ended with, "Rest assured, I'm not asking for anything in return. In this life you already have Lily, and I wouldn't dare to destroy someone's marriage. Just promise me that you'll take care of yourself in the future and live happily with Lily. Love, Phoebe." When Kevin finally finished reading the letter, he suddenly felt his heart ache, as if he'd lost something important. He never knew that Phoebe had felt that way about him, and he wished they could have spoken in person so that he could respond. "That silly daughter of mine is good at everything. Her only weakness is that she has her mother's heart. Once she falls in love with someone, she's willing to give up everything for him," Truman said sadly. Suddenly, Truman's eyes lit up once again. "Judging by your reaction to her letter, I can sense that you deeply care about her. And now that she's the one who needs help, please, save her life. Long story short, the Hayes family is quite prominent, but their son Jared is simply bad news, so I don't want Phoebe anywhere near him. With the wedding less than 2 weeks away, I hope you can find Phoebe in Detroit and bring her back to Chicago. Since you didn't take the rejuvenation pill, perhaps there's still room for negotiation. Don't worry, I'll bring Phoebe back." Kevin's eyes were filled with determination, and his tone was very firm. He then carefully folded the envelope and put it in his pocket, as if it was his most treasured possession. After bidding farewell to Truman and leaving the Anderson family mansion, Kevin took out his phone and called Spencer. Spencer immediately picked up. "How can I be of service today, Enforcer?" "What can you tell me about the Hayes family?" Kevin asked. "The Hayes family is the second most prominent family in Detroit. Their background is similar to the Hill family. They have multiple businesses in their name," Spencer briefly explained. "How long will it take to destroy the Hayes family?" Kevin asked straightforwardly. "Enforcer, what did you say?" Spencer was surprised. "Do I have to repeat myself to make you understand?" Kevin raised his voice. "One day." Spencer didn't dare to say anything else. "All right, just stand by and wait for my next call," Kevin ordered, and then he hung up. "Since the Hayes family wants Phoebe to marry their son so badly, I'll definitely need to give a big gift for their wedding." Just then, Kevin's phone suddenly rang. It was Miss Wilson. "What's the matter, Miss Wilson?" Kevin half-heartedly asked. His mind was still preoccupied about Phoebe and the Hayes family. "I'm glad you finally picked up. Williams Media is currently facing a very serious problem on all fronts. Vito Booker has already poached most of our company's artists. Various business partners have enacted the early termination options on their contracts. Stock price is at an all-time low. And with the company on the verge of bankruptcy, our employees' morale is at its lowest ever." Miss Wilson's tone was filled with anxiety as she gave a concise report. "Okay, I got it. Keep stabilizing the situation in the company. I'll get back to the office as soon as possible." Kevin couldn't help but frown at this news. "It seems that I have a lot of things to fix. Talk about making up for lost time."
Please subscribe to the Pocket FM YouTube channel and press the bell icon for instant notification. Check out our channel for more such exciting shows.